He's the father of our family. And there's a death in the family. And we're saddened. We use a Latin phrase these days, starting about 5 hours ago. Sede vacante. The chair is empty. The empty chair, the chair of Peter, is empty. Sede vacante. We can never choreograph our own birth or death, can we? That's always in God's hands. But if you could choreograph it, you couldn't choreograph it any better than what happened. The last time we saw him, Easter Sunday, the last words, a blessed Easter, as he gave us his blessing. You couldn't, the day that we believe Jesus rose from the dead and shares that victory with us, in which we trust by divine mercy, Pope Francis now shares in abundance. You couldn't have choreographed it better. And we thank him for that. The way he lived and the way he died, he was a great teacher, a great teacher. He'd be the first to admit, when you think of the towering intellects of John Paul II and Benedict XVI, he'd be the first to admit that perhaps the abundant gifts that God had given him were evident elsewhere, in his simplicity, in his humility, in his easygoingness. These were gifts that he stewarded so well. But yet, here's a biggie too. He taught us at the end by allowing us to watch him die. He taught us that who we are is more important than what we can do. He couldn't do much. He could barely raise his hand yesterday, did you see? He could barely speak. He couldn't do much, but what he was as a child of God, created in God's image and likeness, destined for all eternity, given the high office of the successor of Peter, what he was so much more important than what he could do. All right? He did a lot, believe me, but in those final months, I think that's when he had the most eloquent pulpit ever.